Hi there. This video is an introduction to YouTube's Annotations system. Annotations allow my students to participate and interact with material rather than just passively receiving. This is just a proof of concept and a walkthrough of the Annotations system. I'm assuming you already have a YouTube account and that you understand how to upload video using the web interface at youtube.com. It's important to note some limitations of this method. As of June 2012, these annotations show up on YouTube standard players and on embedded players. They do not show up on the mobile version of YouTube's website. They do not show up in the iPhone or iPad YouTube app. And while they may show up using an iPad with the desktop interface of youtube.com, the results are unpredictable. With that in mind, here's a walkthrough of the Annotations system. I'm logged in, I've uploaded a video, and I have the editor bar up here at the top of my video. I'm going to click on Annotations to drop into the editor. Here's the editor screen. There's a few different elements going on. First, I've got the main preview window. I've got a timeline of my video with a scrubber bar. And on the right-hand side, I've got my Annotations editor. To add an annotation, I click on the Add Annotation button in the top right sidebar. There are 6 different options here: speech bubbles, notes, titles, spotlights, labels, and pause. Titles are very straightforward. Clicking on them brings up a text box which you can edit either right over the video or in the sidebar. I can go ahead and mess with the font size and color. When I create this title, you'll see an indicator in the timeline below the preview window. I can now set this title anywhere I'd like in the video. I can also set the length that the title will show up on the screen. As I move the scrubber bar, the title will appear and disappear. If you'd like to be more precise, just click on your title annotation and you can use the numerical interface on the right hand side. Second type of annotation is a pause. It does just what it sounds like. I've just created a pause that starts at second 4 and is 5 seconds long. I can actually watch that by moving my scrubber bar back in the video and then playing. You see the countdown occurring in the top left, and then video proceeds. There are 4 types of annotations left: speech bubbles, notes, spotlights, and labels. Procedurally, all of these are identical, although they do serve different functions. To show you an example, I'm going to start with a speech bubble. A speech bubble can be placed anywhere on the video and has a limited set of options in the right-hand sidebar. First, you can enter the text that you'd like to appear in the bubble. You can choose a font. Just as with the title, you can choose a size. You can choose black or white for font color, but your background gives you an expanded palette of options. As with the title, you set a start time and an end time. The difference between a title annotation and all the others is the link button in the bottom right-hand corner. There's a number of options in a drop-down list. I almost exclusively use video with my students. With link checked and video selected from the drop-down, clicking on the annotation will take the student to another video. I can reference previous videos where students can pick up a foundation before approaching the material within my existing video. And I can also link to a specific time location within this video. To do so, I will grab the link from the existing video, the one that I'm working on right now, and I'm going to paste it into the link field in my annotations editor. I've just created a link within my video that points at the same video. Clicking on this annotation would take me back to the beginning of the video because the start link video is set to 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. I can change that and actually jump forward in time if I'd like to 15 seconds. Once the link is active in the annotation, you'll see a little link button that appears in the actual annotation itself. This is a speech bubble, but it's actually exactly the same for a note as well. The only difference is we don't have the little speech arrow that was available previously. I've added a note. I'm changing the text options. I'm going to link it to the same video again, and this one is going to start the video over. Note in the timeline I have both of my annotations starting and ending at the same time. I can make changes if I'd like right within the timeline. We see here that speech bubbles and notes are almost identical. Spotlight and label are also similar. A label is a note with a bounding box. You can use this to group information together or to delineate information from something else on the screen. Once I've created a note, I can change the size and position it, just as with other annotations. It's important to note that with a label, the label isn't visible until you roll over. You could invite students to guess at a definition prior to rolling over. The final annotation is called a spotlight. A spotlight looks just like a label. However, your description box can appear anywhere on the video. I'll save my work, and publishing should instantaneously update your video. Here's my video with a title annotation. I've got a start over note here. Clicking on that will take me back to the beginning, and it shows up for my entire video. A few seconds in, we've got a pause where my students can think and reflect and write. Here's a label. Hovering over it exposes the label. I've got a speech bubble. Clicking on this takes me up to 15 seconds in the video. Finally, a spotlight, and rolling over that spotlight allows the text to show up on the far left of my screen, or anywhere that I choose in the annotation window. Those are all the annotations available in June 2012. You can use these creatively to loop videos, branch videos, or even just in a straight sequence. I hope you can think of some creative ways to apply them to your content in a way that allows your students to review material, quiz themselves, and work towards self-mastery. Thanks.